Welcome to Lesson 1. In this lesson, we will focus on understanding the visual factory and visual control systems in addressing waste. This will cover the following: definition of visual factory including its advantage and issues, the ways that are addressed by visual factory, and the principles of visual control system. Different types of visual control system will be covered in part 2 of this lesson. A key element in the effective implementation of Lean is the concept of visual factory. Visual factory is a Lean concept that uses communication tools such as charts, infographics, and icons to convey information at the time and place it is needed. Conveying this information visually reduces the time invested in reading, processing, and interpreting text-based instructions. This includes targets and business directives, work processes, the information an employee needs to complete their tasks, such as sequence of jobs, specific activities, and requirements. General layout of the job site, and key access areas including aisles, entrances, and paths where information would help an employee. Let us now recall the 7 ways from Course 1. Transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, and defects are the ways addressed by visual factory. For example, floor markings show where the product should go and be placed. It also guides people where they should go. Using floor markings as visuals addresses the transportation waste as it manages the material and people traffic. Using job aids or infographics to show the sequence of activities to be performed addresses waiting, motion, and defects. Another example is the use of signals and alerts to detect any line abnormalities so action can be taken immediately. Here are the advantages of visual factory. Information is readily available to everyone in the organization. There is integrity of data as it will reflect the actual performance. It can boost individual motivation as their contributions are visible. Since performance across areas or departments are visible, this might trigger a healthy competition within the organization. Some organizations even incentivize those high-performing groups. Visual factory acts as a physical configuration and actual line of sight between operations or processes. It can create a culture of communication. And lastly, the synchronization of all departments to achieve a common goal is achieved through clear performance visibility. Visual factory concepts are powerful in that their use creates an environment for involvement and participation. Visual communicates to all members of the organization. It allows management by sight or management by walking around. Managers do not have to wait for the report by the end of the day. With the help of visual factory, they can just walk around and see what's happening. Live feedback on problems or abnormalities. Alerts and other signals creates an immediate reaction from the team. Ability to effectively cross-train. Since process information are visually available, members of the organizations can have a better idea on what is happening on a certain department or activity, providing them with familiarization or basic knowledge on the process. Helps to establish better control over processes. Visibility of the process helps in making the normal situations obvious that any abnormalities would stand out, triggering immediate controls to be put in place. These are some of the visuals we see every day: Wi-Fi sign, no smoking sign, speed limit, check engine light, pedestrian signals, and low battery alert. All these visuals provide us information and some even alert us to do something. For example, a battery low prompts us to charge our phone. Check engine light tells us that there is something wrong with our car engine. Visual form depends on the information they convey. So what are the different forms of visuals? Visual displays convey information by means of posters, diagrams, maps, and signs. They share information but do not provide any direction or instruction as to what action should be taken. Some of the examples are workplace safety posters, bulletin boards, faucet knob which provides hot or cold water, and fan blade caps with markings. Visual control convey information and provide direction as to what action to take based on the nature of the visual signal. Some examples are boards displaying performance for KPI, pictures of acceptable and unacceptable parts, a light or buzzer signaling machine or line status. In order to be effective, visuals must have the following characteristics: open, honest, and relevant, clear and simple, displayed close to the area concerned, create response or reaction to a negative display or condition, updated regularly with realistic targets. Visuals which do not adhere to the above can be worse than traditional reports in their negative impact. Here are some of the pitfalls of visual control system. Irrelevant or complex reporting or measurement. Reports are not related to the current issue or problem. The reporting even takes more time than fixing the actual problem. There are no signs or signals of what is happening in the workplace. Limited understanding by staff of how work moves or how problems are identified. Only experts or experienced staff know how the work is done. The knowledge is not shared among the team. Information is not timely that leads to late reactions to the problems. Flow is not visible to everyone that activities in back areas are difficult to see. To prevent pitfalls from happening, we must follow these 4 principles for effective visual control system. Know what is happening. Know what to do next. Know how to do the work. Know how well work was done. The first principle is know what is happening. This is having awareness of what is happening in the floor. This can be done by using signs or signals, creating close proximity with no walls or enclosures, separating link operations such as implementation of cells, reconfiguration of equipment, removal of shelves, cabinets which obstruct the view of the process, or physically marking the product path. The next principle is know what to do next. A second basic aspect of Visual Factory is utilizing visual tools to communicate scheduling requirements. These would include schedule boards and Kanban boards. The third principle is know how to do the work. This includes making use of job aids in communicating to operators the required activity sequence, quality requirements, or processes. Some of the examples to be used can be 1. Right-way visual documentation, photographic job aids, and shadow board for tools. The last principle is know how well work was done. The most common visual aid is the posting of performance measures at different level of business environment. These tools can be used to communicate performance ranging from an individual operation to the business in total. Applications would include TAC performance for an operation or line, downtime information with cost and corrective action, schedule performance, or overtime data. These are the key ideas to be emphasized in experimenting the lean techniques using Visual Factory. The first key idea, an effective Visual Factory makes the problem visible so apparent actions can be taken immediately. Second key idea is that Visual Factory aids a clear and honest communication within an organization. And lastly, visual display and visual control both help in conveying information, but visual control triggers an action to be taken based on a signal.